And I am feeling so alive right now, as I'm sure everyone at home is, because how could you not be with live music that incredible? Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, thank you so much for being here. I am your host, Christian Evenko. This is the 19th episode of our band show, and we are live with the Hudson Valley's very own, the Schwegs. Welcome to the show, everyone.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us, Christian.
Thank you so much for having us.
It is our pleasure. Absolutely incredible music. I'm just in love so far with the sound. Like I was telling, I think Charles, right before we went live, I hear so many different styles of music coming together to make something that I truly think is unique. I hear a lot of your classic 2000s punk rock, but then there's a lot of, Midwest emo stuff, more modern spins on it. But really some of the way that you guys, phrase your fills and your low end harkens back to some of the greats of rock and roll in and of itself. And it's a really cool amalgamation of sound that I'm very excited to unpack here. And as we unpack throughout the entirety of this interview, please drop an emoji in the chat to show the band some love. Now, band, what emoji would you like the chat to drop?
A banana.
A banana.
A banana. We got a banana on the drum head right there.
Yeah. I love that. High potassium and high energy pop punk. It's just a perfect combination.
Banana.
So please drop a banana or two, a bunch of even if you could.
A bunch of bananas.
In the chat. And if you guys have a question for the band, don't be shy. Let us know what you would like asked on the stream. But just to set the tone, because I've been saving this question all day and I've been dying, absolutely dying as I normally am, just to get to the show because I love doing this so much, but especially with the band this awesome, I've been dying to know how the Schwegs came to be. So who would like to jump in first? We would love to get the origin story here, and please spare no details.
I think Charles wants to talk, actually.
I think Charles does want to talk, actually. This was our junior year. COVID happened.
Yeah.
COVID was pretty bad. So we really wanted to perform, right? We were just...
Perform for what?
The junior picnic.
Well, it was the winter thing.
Yeah, the school
Christmas
did. Our
thing.
high school. We all went to the same high school together, by the way. Shout out Ketchum, W Ketchum. So us three were asked to play at a school Christmas music.
Yeah, it was like a live stream.
Yeah, it was a live stream. So we played Carol of the Bells and made it all rock and stuff. And then when our junior picnic came around, because we couldn't have a junior prom because of the quarantine and stuff, we were going to form a band because they wanted us to perform, but we needed a vocalist. So one of the teachers told us about
Mr. King.
Mr. King.
W.
Mr. King told us about Bernie over
King
here.
King of Kings.
Yeah,
For real.
and we met up with her, and then we practiced in the auditorium after school, learned some songs, played at the picnic, and then we were a band.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
I think that's pretty cool.
I think that's pretty much.
I think that's
the origin
long and the
story.
short of it.
Rare
Well, there's
W.
definitely more that I'd love to know. Like, what was that first practice session like when you guys
Oh,
first
I was
came
terrified.
together?
I was
Honestly?
scared and I was in the corner, terrified.
What, the first, when we decided we're going to, I guess the very first time we practiced together, it was what we were set up at the base auditorium, and
It was really
Charles
good.
had sent me a bunch of songs to learn, and I didn't learn them. So so I was reading them off the tab as we were playing. It got pretty connected, but what we had to do, we started on Monday, we had to be ready by Friday. So we were just kind of hammering out for an hour and a half.
Every day.
Every day,
But
yeah.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
And I already graduated because I was 1 year older than them.
Yeah.
So it was coming back to school.
Well, you're doing what a true alumni does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Giving back to their alma
Yes.
mater.
Yeah.
Now, is there any video or recordings of that we might be able to see? I'd be interested.
Unfortunately, there are.
Yeah.
Reggie Rao.
It was
Thank you, Reggie.
pretty good for the 5 or 6 songs we intended to play, and then but we're play more, and it was
We winged it.
yeah, we kind of didn't know what each other knew, and it was just kind of chaos after that. People loved it
Yeah.
anyway.
People loved
but,
it. It was
yeah.
actually so
Now,
Yeah.
I'm going somewhere with this. Is this all of your first band?
This is my second band.
Me and Dom were in a band beforehand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool, but still early in the career of
Yeah.
being in bands? Is that
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
for
is
sure.
my second real band that actually did anything.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
nice? See, I have been playing in bands since I was 11, and I do not have much footage archived of the early days, and I could imagine that you guys were pretty good, even though I know you say it wasn't the greatest. So where can people find that? I'm sure a lot of folks would like to, after, of course, they conclude watching the full live stream and liking and subscribing, go and check that out. So where could people perhaps see that if they'd be interested?
It's on YouTube. Right.
Our first couple gigs are on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like the first ever gig.
Yeah.
I think I have videos of it in my Google Drive.
Yeah.
We could make a highlight on the Instagram.
Yeah.
A highway.
Highlight.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
like
where
the
you
stories that you can just always look at.
Okay, I was like, wow, I'm really aging out of the social media era. I've never heard of a highway on Instagram, but that makes sense. I do know what a highlight reel is, and we're going to have plenty of those tonight, by the way, if you guys keep up the pace of rocking out the way you are. But with that said, before we get too far out of back in the day, I would like to know what was in that set of original music, or was it original music that you played under the direction of Mr. King?
It was
Sweater Sandman.
Oh, I love Sweater Song. And
Not
Happy
the first
30th
one.
to the Blue album, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sweater Song.
Sweater
Enter
Song.
Sandman. Not in this order, but
More Than a Feeling.
that was at,
That was
that was
later.
at the
that was the
Paula's
second
gig.
one.
Yeah.
Paradise City.
Paradise City. Sweet Child of Mine.
Sweet Child. Did we play?
We played Welcome to Paradise.
Welcome to Paradise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we have? We had Basket Case. I think that might have been a Wing It.
We did wing.
We winged it,
We
yeah.
winged Freebird because you got to wing Freebird.
Yeah.
But the
Stood
fact
there.
that you can do that is really great. I would love to see
Charles
that.
Apollo.
Dominic.
Because I hear a lot of Charles, especially in your guitar playing. I know I gave the compliment early on to the bass lines and certain sections, and I definitely hear some like Greenday isms with like it's more than just the root notes, right? Like it's a melody within holding down the low end. But I do hear a lot in your leads. You pick your moments where maybe there's a little bit of a guitar hero in there too, not just like your typical pop punk solo.
Yeah, I mean, most of my guitar influences are like shreddy guys, so I try to do a little bit of that with the pop punk, even though it's not always common, but you can make it work.
So we have a little bit of time left in this first interview, and there is an audience question I want to get to, but real quickly, let's just go around the room, starting on Charles. Maybe 2 to 3, 4 musical roots. Necessarily doesn't have to be someone who influences the direct sound of the Schwegs. Of course, that's always great, but who kind of spoke to you guys early in your musical journey?
Greenday, 100%. Blink 182, 100%. 200% for Blink, if I'm being honest. Yeah. W Blink.
You missed an opportunity to say 182%.
182%.
It's the 180.
Yeah, I mean our biggest sound influences were back then, I guess, were Green Day and Blink, especially like a lot of the originals sound akin to that.
We did have a little Guns N' Roses.
We did.
Yeah.
We had a bit
Evil
of
Eye's a little more classic rock.
Evil
if you think
Eyes,
about
yeah,
it.
that one's very like classic rock, classic punk-esque compared to the other ones. But
Yeah, I could see that. I also get a little Franz Ferdinand out of that tune as well.
That's fair.
Not just because they have a song named Evil Eye, by the way, and the instrumentation and the way that melodies are phrased. But we'll get there. That song's coming later on in the night. Real quick, let's just go around a quick shootout. Dom, starting with you, and then we'll make our way through. Ian, Bernie, a few influences that inspired you early on.
Like the whole band, or just me personally?
Just you, yeah. It's your moment.
Well, I started with like classic rock and stuff, but I really got into funk. Funk was a big thing for me. So, like Clyde Stubblefield, who did Funky Drummer with James Brown, that was a big one. Bernard Purdie, and Steve Gadd, definitely.
Righteous. I hear all that for sure. Ian?
I would say Weezer for sure, Blink later on, Green Day early on, and then The Descendants, which Charles put me onto. I didn't know about them until I was like a junior in high school.
Yeah. Milo Goes to College?
Yeah, that.
Nice.
Yeah,
great album.
yeah, no, that was the exact album too, and I was like, oh my god, this is.
I could have been a blues virtuoso had I not heard that record.
Yeah, no, but it's yeah. So I feel like you hear a lot of that coming through with like the earlier music we wrote, especially Evil Eye. But again, like you said, we'll get there later on.
Yeah, Bernie, what about you?
So I'm kind of all over the place. I go through like different phases. So I'm really into like 60s, Beatles, Rolling Stones. My main influence for like songwriting is Paul McCartney. Like,
Oh, yes. Love that so much.
yes, that is like my jam. But I'm also into like 1970s punk, like Ramones and the Pistols. And I get a lot of my inspiration for like performing Johnny Lydon from the Pistols. He does this thing with his eyes. I'm always kind of doing that, and it just kind of happened. But yeah, Misfits, Billy Idol, really like his stage performance. But yeah.
Incredible. Yeah, that's really cool. I hear all of that. Now, we do have to start making our way into more music because, first of all, I just am dying to hear more tunes. But just as a little hook, you know, as we like to do here, it's all in good writing and showmanship. We have a really great question from the audience by Vrelios, Vrelious. And we're not going to answer it now. We're going to hook you. So you're going to have to stick around for the next interview. What is each member's favorite dinosaur? So with that said, drop a few bananas in the chat.
That's a great question.
Show the band some love.
questions.
Get more questions in. And please allow me to introduce the first full set of the evening here on our band show from the Schwegs, starting off with a great tune called By Curious George. Take it away, guys.